Moving up in the Yamaha line, I got myself a 2017 XSR900. I've been looking to get one of these for a while, actually. I have not been able to get one because everyone wants so much for these bikes, which is kind of understandable now that I have one. The last bike that I made a video with was my, was it a 17 or 16? I can't remember anymore, but it was a FZ07, which I let Tori, flashback here, ride for the first time. Well, I got rid of that. It's been a while. Actually, it's been a long time since I posted a video. And we're back with this. It's just the next step up. Really, the next step up from the FZ07 is the FZ09 or the MT09. But for those of you guys who do not know, this engine is exactly the same. I don't know if it's detuned at all or if it's geared a little bit differently, but it has just as much torque. This thing is a crazy motorcycle. Now, I haven't done too much with it yet because the guy said it needed an oil change. He hadn't done it in a year, and I don't want to do any damage to the internals of this engine, so we might as well get that done before I go and really rip on this thing. Yeah, it's a 2017. It's got 7,000 miles, which is pretty low for this, and I didn't know that this bike has traction control and power modes. I thought this was just a raw dog, you know, whatever bike, but it's got traction control, it's got power modes, it's got ABS, which is annoying. I actually want the ABS off. I don't know if there's a fuse I can pull under here. I might do it, but I also don't like the ABS light being on the whole time, so I'll figure out what I want to do with that. For some reason, I've always been kind of drawn to the styling of, you know, motorcycle. It kind of looks like a cafe racer. There's probably some kind of bike that it's designed after, but to me, it looks like a cafe style. I guess the handlebars aren't really correct for that, but it's like classy. This bike is for someone who is in their 30s, but still wants a peppy motorcycle like the MT09s, because it's the same damn thing, just in a different format. Like, look at it. It's a gorgeous looking bike, and I think even though it has a classy look to it, I think it still looks really sporty, like really, like, I don't want to say aggressive because it's not like super aggressive, but look at this tail. It's skinny, nice and narrow and pretty. I don't know. I like this bike. I'm really drawn to the way it looks. It's small. It's a big engine, a 900cc with a lot of torque in a small little frame. Like, I don't have to swing my leg all the way over a tail. I can just whoop right around, not worry about it, because there's nothing here, just a seat. I don't know. This bike has a decent seating position. It's not too upright and it's not too far forward. It feels really comfortable for the most part, and I like the seat. The seat's actually my favorite thing about this motorcycle. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just narrow, sporty looking almost, and it's comfy. So a couple things about this bike that are issues. It does have a high beam. No, the other way around. It has daylight running, but it doesn't have a high beam. It also doesn't have a horn, which sucks, because, you know, I can't beat at people. And I'll show you in a minute. I'll have to cover my plate, but it doesn't have a tail light that actually is attached to the bike. The tail light is like a little sticky thing that you put on your plate, and I think that's kind of stupid, and it's also not that bright. I'll bring the camera over here in a minute and show some of the things I don't like about this bike, but I will just kind of mention it now. It's an asymmetrical style. Not the whole thing, but the odometer, speedometer, whatever, all of it is just off-center, just a little bit. And I can tell it's for the key. Let me come over there, grab the camera, and we'll do a little walk around. Oh, and by the way, I am a little bit sick right now. So like, if I sound a little bit more nasally or high-pitched or like a nerd, that's why. Nothing wrong with nerds, by the way. I just kind of sound like one. All right, so here we are. This is the bike. It's gorgeous. There's no damage to it. But if you're familiar with this like colorway, there are some things that the other owner before me changed. Well, not really changed. This is supposed to be silver, it's spray painted. This is supposed to be silver, it's spray painted. This is supposed to be silver, it's spray painted. He left that silver, which is nice because there are silver accents in the paint. So it's a good thing you did that. It does have an aftermarket exhaust. Ooh, voice crack, thank you. It looks spray painted as well. So the original owner definitely liked rattle canning stuff, but it still looks good. It honestly, for as far as spray painted bikes go, it looks really good. Everything else is supposed to be black. This is black, this is black, that's black. I mean, it's only those small little accented things, and I can take them off and change them if I need to. It looks really good. I mean, you could tell down here the oil is black. That really needs to be changed. So the best thing is this is a naked bike, so to do the oil change, it's all right here. No fairings, no nothing. There's the oil filter, and there's the drain bolt right there. Don't have to take anything off, just go straight to an oil change. Pretty great. It's a good looking bike. Chain looks decent. Here's that tail again. Oh, I don't know why, I just love this tail so much. And then one thing I guess I don't really like, but I can get used to pretty easily, is why is this off-centered? Why does this have to be over here, not like right there? Why? I don't know if it's like to match the odometer, which is also offset, if you could see. But it's offset for a reason. You gotta have access to your key, so go ahead and turn it on. I'm not gonna start it because I'm in the house, but yeah, you see 7,000 miles. It's pretty basic. You can see in the mode, there's some mode buttons that you press this little thing. I know I need to cut my nails, don't say nothing. Yeah, see, you can go through them. It's pretty cool. I ride in A, but it's really torquey in A. You got, this is for your traction control, which is also there. Yep, there you go. You can turn it all the way off, which is nice. Not every bike allows that. So that's the extent of like the features. There's not much, but it's still more than what I thought was even going to be here. The taillight that I was talking about, here it is. It's stuck to my plate. It's not like actually attached to the bike. It looks bright enough, but I just don't trust that at night. So what are we doing today? We are going to do an oil change on this bike. Like I said, this bike in particular takes 10W40, I believe. Yeah, I'll fact check that. So we're doing the oil, and we are doing an oil filter. Pretty easy to do. Like I showed you, it's literally all accessible. Nothing needs to come off except the oil filter and the drain bolt. For those of you guys who don't know or are not following me on Instagram, unfortunately I was involved in an accident. I can't really speak too much about it right now, but I was not on any of my motorcycles, so anything I own is okay, so don't worry about that. Obviously I'm here, I'm okay, but it's been about a month since that happened. And my camera got kind of messed up, so I can't film a ride-along video or like my first ride or anything like that right now, unfortunately. So the only thing I can do is just do the walk-around video and the oil change. So I just wanted to at least show you guys this bike because this is something I've actually been super interested in. How I got this bike is I bought another bike I didn't get a chance to make a YouTube video on. It was a 2020 CRF 450L. Which is the enduro bike. You can hear Diva in the background making a bunch of noise. She's barking. It's basically just a 450R, but really detuned, given it an extra gear, so it has 6 gears, and it's just street legal. I hated it. I didn't want to do anything with it. I didn't want to keep it. I didn't want to film the videos, whatever. But I used that to trade for this straight. So the CRF 450L honestly is worth more than this, so I kind of traded down. But I'm not really too mad about it because the problem with the 450L is that it's hard to sell. You have to find somebody who's really interested in that kind of riding style, you know, the enduro motorcycles. If it was like in the supermoto form with like Warp 9 wheels and tires, it probably would have sold a lot easier, but that was not the case. And this might also be hard to sell, but this is something I wanted, so I'm pretty happy about it. All right, enough talking. Let's get this oil change done. So this bike does take 10W40. I am using Castrol Power 1. It's probably not the best oil for this bike, but it'll be all right. It is a full synthetic blend. A lot of people use full synthetic. I don't know if Yamaha, which is you know always going to be the recommended oil, if that's just a standard or if it is a full synthetic. But I do know that they have Yamaha Gold, which is a full synthetic, and people use that for this bike. So this should do. And then I am going with the KN air filter. This is the 2041. That is actually what's on the bike currently, so I am not changing what's already on it. I know that's not stock, but I'm gonna put one on. Oh, you only need 3 quarts of this. It's actually like 2.7 quarts if you remove the filter, and so I'll have a little bit left over, but this will work. Rule number 1, at least for me, when it comes to working on a bike on a stand, I never put the kickstand up unless I absolutely have to. because you will drop your bike if you forget about it. I'm behind the camera talking, but if you're wondering, I'm inside, and I am going to do the oil change inside, and clearly there's a laminate floor or whatever this material is. I will show you my solution to that. Ready? 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 Now there's oil everywhere. Actually, it probably is going to put oil everywhere. The way that drain bolt's pointed, it's going to go pew right there and splash everywhere. Let's hope that's not the case. Got to go to the other side and break this loose. It's just let a little air into the engine, which will allow it to drain a little bit faster. Back to the other side. Don't look at that. Go down here and show you like this. This is the drain bolt that I'm about to break loose. Here's the oil filter, Cayenne. So the good thing about Cayenne, some people like them, some people don't, is that it has a little nut on the end, like that, so you can get them off easier. And you can actually torque them. You can't really torque the other one properly, or like the ones that don't have the nut at the end. Looks like I need a little bit more force than I thought. Ugh. Oh, that hurt. Ugh. I just smacked. Why was that on so tight? I just smacked the shit out of the engine here. Can we do this without getting oil on me? See. Oh, I got oil on me. And it does have a pressure washer. Oh, that's unfortunate. Most drain bolts have a little magnet on the end that you can kind of see if there's any metal chunks and stuff in the engine. It'll stick right there, but this one doesn't have it. This isn't really a how-to, but I guess you can consider it a how-to. We're trying to get the oil filter out now. Usually these are hand tightened, so they shouldn't be that hard, and it already moved, so it'll be an easy one to get off. More oil should come out. Totally normal. Easy. Do not take your bike to the shop to get an oil change. If you have one of these, an MT09, R9, maybe if you don't want to deal with the fairings, but that is so easy to do. There's no reason you should be paying someone $400 to do it. Just let the oil drain out, and we will put the oil filter on, put the drain bolt back in, and then we're going to pour some oil in. That's pretty much done draining. We can go ahead and throw the oil bolt back in and put the oil filter on. Here's y'all new oil filter. Just take a paper towel and clean the mating surface. Make sure that there's no dirt. Now that's done. Take one of your new bottles of oil, open it up. You can actually use your old oil if it wasn't like in one of these. Like there's a bunch of dirt in there, so I'm not going to use my old oil to do this. New oil on my finger. Just going to put it all along the edge of this, and I am actually going to pour just a little bit of oil directly in this. Not too much, just enough to have some oil in there. And we are going to go up and start screwing this on. Alright, now let's put the oil bolt back in. Same thing. Try to keep it clean. You really should have shop towels, not paper towels, but I am not bougie like that, so just going to use my nice paper towels. Most of the time you want to replace the crush washer. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hope that it creates another good seal. If it doesn't, then I'll have a little oil leak from the drain bolt, but I will obviously fix that if it comes to be a problem. Drain bolt's back in. We'll torque that later. I need to look up the torque specs to make sure I do the right torque, but I will at least get it snug. Same thing with the oil filter. Like I said, this just needs to be hand tight. It really doesn't have to be anything crazy. All right, we're done on this side. Everything's put back in the way it's supposed to be. Let's go to the other side and put some oil in it. Get yourself a funnel, put it in there, or make sure you remove this first, or otherwise you can't put it in there. And we're gonna start putting some oil in there. I wish this funnel was a little bit better. This actually might be an issue. This, and start putting some oil in. Because we know this bike takes 2.7 after you change the filter as well, we know we can put 2 bottles in there, full bottles, confidently, and not worry about overflowing the oil, and then, or overfilling the oil. And then after that, the third bottle, we can put in half of it, and then we got to start checking the oil sight glass. All right, that's 2 full bottles of oil in there. We're already starting to see a little bit of oil in the sight glass, which is a good thing. We just got to put in half a bottle more. And just make sure while you're doing this, you go back down to the other side and just make sure you're not leaking oil out, because, you know, oil is expensive. Let's go ahead and throw in half of the third bottle, and then we're gonna have to run it just to make sure that we are in, after the oil's been moved around, just to make sure that we have the right level. The oil level has risen. It's on the higher side, but I still have to start the bike, and after I start the bike, the oil will circulate a little bit, and it'll come back down. We might have to throw a little bit more in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cap back in and then torque the bolt, the drain bolt, and then we're gonna start the bike. So that's nice and snug. Yamaha calls for 32 foot-pounds, so I got my trusty dusty torque wrench here, and we're gonna put it to 32. Simple as that. Let's go start this thing. Just let it warm up for like 3 to 4 minutes. This bike does sound so good. Now that the bike is pretty warmed up, the oil's had time to circulate through the bike, let's get it back in here and check the oil level. It could definitely use a little bit more oil. It's lower. It's on the lower side, so let's go ahead and put some more oil in there. That is all. This is my 2017 XSR900, and that is how you do an oil change. Sorry I haven't made an oil change video before, so it was a little bit rough, but I think I did a pretty good job explaining most of the basic stuff, and this bike is super easy to do an oil change on. If I wasn't trying to film a YouTube video, I would have had that done in less than 10 minutes, so definitely a great bike to own. So look forward to my ride-along video when I get my camera all situated and all that stuff. It'll take a minute. Hopefully I still have the bike to do the video. As far as I know right now, this is going to be my new daily, and obviously the RSV4, which is off camera, is going to be my play around, go to meets and all that kind of, like, it's almost like a show bike, but I still ride that thing. If you don't believe me, take a look at the tires. Thank you for watching. I hope you watch some of my other videos, and please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.